Welcome to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. I'm James Groves, and along with my business partner, Bill Dement, we want to share our journey as small business owners with you. As owners of Hole in the Wall Drywall Repair, we will attempt to peel back the curtain of owning a small business in the trade service industry and talk about the many adventures of owning a small business. Hey, Bill.
James, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we're winding this year down.
I know it. It's like this year just vanished on us in just 2 seconds. I mean, we're literally, by the time this launches, we'll be in December, and then Christmas is here. And then all of a sudden,
and then into a new exciting year.
Yeah, very exciting. I'm excited about today's guest, though. We had a great pre-meeting.
Oh, so. It was a great pre-show.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to introduce him to you. This guy is a successful young entrepreneur. He's a husband, a father, and he's the founder and owner of TNT Lawn Care in Mount Dora. And Matt Snowberger. Just want to welcome you in.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome. So glad you could be here.
Thank you for having me on the show.
I love success stories. I love growth stories and just journeys that people have.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of time I've had to kind of listen to you and hear your story. I'm excited to bring your story to the audience. And why don't you just kind of take a second? Obviously, you own TNT Lawn Care. But how did you get to where you are? Who is Matt? And just kind of, walk us through your path a little bit.
Well, my name is Matt Snowberger. I own TNT Lawn Care. Basically, about 10 years ago, I started a business. And I started with a push mower, actually, and a dream. I thought in my head, these $10 an hour jobs just aren't going to cut it. And I need something to provide for my family. And believe it or not, I was sitting on my back porch and I seen a lawn truck drive by and I didn't think anything of it. And I seen another one drive by and I didn't think anything of it. And when I seen the third lawn truck drive by, I said, these guys might be onto something.
The universe is sending you a message, aren't they?
Right. So you fired the boss 10 years ago.
Yes, sir. So basically from there, I went and purchased a lawnmower, and after that, I got to work.
So were you literally just going door to door?
Well, I did some research, and I went online, and I realized I needed to be licensed and insured. So I got busy with that, and I actually had a car at the time, and I sold my car. And after I sold the car, I took the money. I paid for the insurance. I paid for the license, and I got 1,000 business cards made. And from there, I went door to door and just started knocking on doors and asking people if I could cut their grass. And I started to build momentum and kept going and going. And I realized very quickly I needed to improve my equipment. Mm-hmm. And I've always taken my money from the business and invested it back into the business. And it's done well for us. Yeah.
And so how old were you starting? You were in your early 20s?
I was in my early 20s.
Early 20s. Yeah. Wow. So 10 years later,
mm-hmm.
You run a successful business. You've got some big clients, big contracts. How many employees are you running?
I have 6 employees right now.
Excellent.
I have to give most of my credit to those guys because they're very hard workers and very dedicated to the job. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today without them.
Yeah. You know what? I think we've kind of always kept that attitude as well. Those guys out there that are doing the drywall, we have a lot of people work here that don't spread mud around.
Yeah.
And those are the guys who pay the bills.
Yeah. It's fun because when you look back, 10 years is a long time, I mean, it's a long time to think. I look back at 10 years and say, well, I could hold my breath 10 years. But really, your world has changed. I know my world's changed in 10 years.
Yeah.
What are some highlights that you can think about over the past decade of doing this business that you kind of, I call them the beat your chest proud moments?
I would say we had a great one as of recent. We just moved from my backyard, which we've been operating out of for the past 10 years, very uncomfortable, to a new state-of-the-art facility. And I think that's one of the best things that
I saw pictures recently of his shop space, James.
Yeah.
We could level up, I'm just saying.
Love it.
It's really impressive.
Very cool.
I think that's been one of the things that has gotten us to the point where we are now. And I'm happy to be in our new home for sure.
Yeah. Those are fun. So what are some things that kind of inspire you? How do you sharpen your mental tool as a business person, as a family guy? What are some things that you do in your world to kind of keep you on the cutting edge and keep you mentally sharp?
Well, I'll tell you, I think organization is a really, really big factor. I think in the early days, there was none, and we would be looking for tools to fix the mowers or tools to get the job done, and we had no idea where they're at. So I think that organization and the time that we spent on organizing everything and having a place for every item, I think that has been really imperative to what
Well,
we're
and I
doing.
noticed that in the photos I saw of his new shop, they have an entire bench area that's the big roll around toolboxes, and it's all the stuff they need to do their own maintenance and repairs. It's really impressive.
Giddy up. That's my
Yeah,
my
I know
happy
you'd like
place.
that.
I do like I follow the model, if everything has a place, then nothing's out of place.
That's right.
You know, it doesn't belong on top of the table. It belongs hanging in a drawer. It belongs somewhere. So
Yeah.
yeah.
One other thing, and I didn't actually ask Matt about this, but I know he has a good story. If you care to get into it a little bit about your son. How old is he now?
My son is 8.
So if you're up to it, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a great story, and this was a story that was in the newspapers a decade ago.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening. So, hey, Madden, how you doing? My son, he great kid. When he was born, he was 1 pound and 6 ounces, and he was in the hospital for 4 months, and the doctors gave him a 1% chance of making it. And my son has always inspired me to go farther in my business, because if he had a 1% chance to make it and he made it, it kind of lets you know that the odds, no matter how hard it seems stacked up against you, it's very possible to overcome.
Love that
the odds.
attitude. Love it.
Yeah. So there is hope. It's not all lost.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that was a tough time. While my wife was pregnant, someone actually stole my trailer and both my lawnmowers. And it was a really tough time in my life because I didn't know where the business was going to go. But I was determined, and I knew that I wasn't going to let that stop me.
Wow.
And you didn't.
Well, that's a testament to the drive and the family bond. As a family business, you know, we are in business to take care of ourselves and our family. So it's key.
Yeah. And that experience with Madden, that was several years before he was really on the road.
For
wasn't
sure.
it?
Well, that's really kind of nice. I mean, I'm sorry that he was going through that issue, but he's okay now, right?
Oh, he's great.
He's great.
He's 8 years old, and he's excelling in everything. He's very, very smart. And he tells me he wants to take over TNT one day.
There you go.
Their legacy. Well, he obviously is proud of his dad. I can see why.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Did I catch that he was a piano player as well?
He is definitely a piano player.
Is he
as well.
taking lessons?
He is taking lessons.
He and my son Sam, who's a piano player, they connected recently.
Oh boy. Sam is quite the driven piano player. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's something.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I am curious to kind of dig in to some of the things that kind of helped you grow your business over the past several years. Like, what are some transition points, that as you grew, I love, you were smart about it. You got your insurances, you got your stuff dialed in, so you knew you didn't have liability issues, right?
For sure.
And then you got some business cards printed. And then you just started what we call shoe leather. You just started beating the streets.
Yep.
Door knocking.
For sure.
So tell us about the growth and just kind of some of you mentioned momentum. Explain kind of what are some of those key pivotal points.
Well, before I started TNT Lawn Care, I probably had 235 different jobs. And out of those jobs, I've always learned something from one of those jobs. Even when I was 15 years old, I was working for Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza trained us to answer the phone. Thank you for choosing Domino's. This is Matt speaking. How may I help you? I use that every day. Mm-hmm. If someone calls me, I say, thank you for calling TNT Lawn Care. This is Matt speaking. How may I help you? It's just little things like that I've taken from other companies and been able to apply them to my own business that has really helped.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that because we are the sum of all of our past events. And a lot of people they live in this bubble where they don't look beyond the now. But having the forethought to just the little things like that, obviously excellence. I mean, you're walking around in logoed shirts and logo hats, so obviously you're not just some bum with a T-shirt driving a pickup truck with a lawnmower.
Yep.
You got a good look and feel about you. You got a positive attitude. So if I'm one of your clients, I'm feeling confident that you're gonna do the job well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We always go above and beyond for our clients, and we always make sure that we do the job and do it correctly. I think that a lot of people get caught up in the money and how fast they can make it when we really focus on quality. I think quality is sometimes more important than how fast can you get the job done.
Yeah. And over a given period of time, if you're focusing on quality and customer service experience, the money will follow. That's what we found. We weren't primarily about the money, nor are we now. But let's make sure we deliver a top quality customer service experience, and the money will follow.
Well, if you look directly ahead of you when you're driving, it's difficult to see the future, right? But if you know that I'm just going to be a man of my word, we're just going to provide a quality service at a fair price, it's difficult not to succeed because unless there's just boneheads out there, and customers can be a pain in the butt sometimes, and they're not always right, but they can tend to be a hassle. But if you treat them fairly, they typically will come around, and even if you made a mistake, there is redemption in that mistake because you will fix it because you're a man of your word, and that's what builds that word of mouth, credibility online, social media, just the referrals. Who does your yard? Who does your business? Well, I have TNT does mine. That, and you want to do business, like Bill said earlier, with people that you know, like, and trust. And if you have this integrity about you doing your positive, good work, then it's hard not to succeed.
Yeah, success will follow.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
It's true.
All right, I'm gonna dig in deeper. Some other highlights. Let's think back in the old 10-year Rolodex of what was like. I got this. My first 20 clients, my first 100 clients, my big client, what are some of those things in there that we can kind of dig out?
So I would say one of the most pivotal things that happened for me was I was doing a landscaping job for somebody. We cut grass, and then we would have landscaping jobs to do on the side as well. And I was doing a landscaping job for somebody, and they were very happy with my work. And they said, "Hey, Matt, would you like a whole lot more work?" And I said, "Yeah, that would be great." And they asked me if I would place a bid on their entire community. And that kind of opened my eyes a little bit to a different avenue of maybe let's test the waters with this commercial work and see where this could lead us to. And it actually ended up leading us to great places. The residential yards, the connection that I was making with the customers was great, but the profitability and everything, I'm not sure it was the best. As to where commercial work afforded me the ability to hire employees and upgrade equipment and keep making strides in the right direction.
Well, you mentioned employees, and I'm making my notes here because part of growth is you have to hire employees. And have you had any issues with hiring the right people and retaining the right people?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a common story we hear, isn't it, James?
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously we have our own experience, but every time we talk to a small business person, everyone kind of has this same, especially post-COVID, because everyone became social media influencers and they think they can work at home and make, $100,000 a year. But so what are some of the challenges you've had?
So the challenge that I've had is finding people who actually want to show up to work. That's a big one. We have a tough industry. You have to work in the sun. It's very hot. It can be very dusty. It can be very difficult.
Yeah.
So you have to find the correct people to do the job, and you have to find people who want to be there, not people who are just coming to collect a paycheck.
So what methods are you using up to date to, kind of to find those guys?
So the methods that I'm using is basically I promote a team environment instead of individual environment. So if we were going to give bonuses the whole team is going to get a bonus, not one person. So if one person is struggling, I expect another person to help that person through until we can't help you through anymore. You know, I think that's one of the things that's helped us greatly is,
I like that
is
concept.
promoting that team environment. I think that's helped us a lot. It's very difficult to find the right people, but I'm very fortunate because I do have the right people.
Yeah, when you do find the right people, it definitely is a game changer.
It is.
How many do you have any crew that have been with you a long time?
Yes, I have 2 crew leaders who have been with me pretty much since the start.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
And I couldn't ask for any more out of my crew leaders than what I have.
Nice. You got a few of those. Want to shout them out? Give them
Shout out Winston. Shout out Nick.
right on.
There you
Love
go.
that. And frankly, if they're in the fields as your crew leads, and they set the pace for the crew below them.
Yep.
So
Yes, they do.
good job, guys. You guys help build a great business. Did you know that there are over 140 million homes in the U.S.? 97% of them have walls and ceilings that are built using drywall. The drywall repair industry is simply enormous, valued at over $13 billion a year. We're hole-in-the-wall drywall repair, and for years we have been perfecting the art of repairing drywall, developing and refining our systems, and strengthening our brand. Our business model is simple, scalable, and easy to learn. We believe it's a real game changer. We are successful drywall repair pros who decided to take our repair business to a higher level, growing both our franchise training and support to industry-leading standards. You'll benefit from our vast experience helping your franchise hit the ground running and achieve success quickly. We'll give you access to our marketing team that has created strategic programs designed to get your phone ringing and booking new business fast. Join a fast-growing leader in an exciting dynamic segment of the home service industry by franchising with hole-in-the-wall drywall repair. Start building your own business and securing your own financial future today. All right, let's kind of go back a second. We talk about lawn care. I'm just going to kind of show my stupidity when it comes to your industry. You said landscaping. Is that not the same as lawn care? What's the difference between lawn care and landscaping?
So lawn care would be cutting grass, trimming bushes, edging, blowing. Landscaping would be actually a transformation of the area.
Planting plants and bushes.
Planting plants, installation of rock, installation of mulch, installation of borders and pavers and all of that good stuff.
Have you dipped into like irrigation, stuff like that?
We do offer irrigation as well.
You do? Okay. How about like lighting, low voltage lighting? You know?
I did lighting before, but we do not offer lighting now.
Yeah. There's a little more liability in that. You got to deal with electricity.
It just seemed a little tough.
A little tough, yeah. That's okay though. So you're mainly a lawn care, or you do both now? So you're both lawn care and landscape?
I would say that we do both. Yeah, we do both.
So I'm going to look at my neighborhood. Every year they do annual or seasonal trims and shifts, and the trees that were big and bushy now go down to nubs kind of thing. Is that stuff that you would kind of take care of all those, right?
We would take care of all those. We also do seasonal flower changes for the clients that we have.
Do you all do tree work, Matt?
We do not do tree work.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, no, that's a different breed.
You run into a lot of liability issues with different insurances, with different things.
Yeah. So what are some things that you're hoping that you can kind of the next 10 years, what is your dream? If you had to like build yourself this, empire in your head, what does that look like?
I would like to have at least 10 trucks on the road servicing clients. That would be my goal. And a new facility to fit the 10 trucks.
Right.
That would be great.
So how many total employees is that for 10 trucks?
I would say 35.
35 employees?
Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah. Absolutely doable.
You need bigger dreams.
For sure.
You need bigger dreams. All right.
What is it they say? If you want to hit the moon, you shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we're going to get you there. What's the way that you're going to grow?
I think the way that I'm going to grow is through sales and through keeping a structured team. I think that the team is very important. And I think in lawn care, a lot of the larger companies, from what I've researched, I think that they kind of just hire anybody who will do it. instead of really finding the correct people to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that quality gets lost in larger companies. And that's the one thing that I always wanted to avoid. And I'm always looking to combat against is how can we keep the quality without sacrificing.
Yeah, you don't want to
something else.
compromise. Mm-hmm.
That's the curse of small business. You realize you just being able to see that now is important. But the curse of small business is the business owner doesn't trust or train his staff to do the job to their standard, and they never leave the field. They're always, for us, maybe spreading mud on the walls for drywall. For you, maybe.
Well, you're cursed with having to always work in the business rather than working on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But building the good foundation of employees that can then hold your standard, so you're not the one doing the hands-on training all the time. You're relying on your staff. You hold them accountable. Hire quality people. So that means you have to vet them as a boss a little bit better. It can't just be fog and mirror. You're hired. It has to be someone that has a little bit of aptitude, potentially some past history.
Yeah,
and train them. And then here's the thing: is like, well, I don't want to hire too many people and not have the work for them. So now I got to go find the work so I can hire more people.
For sure.
And so there's always this balance. We do it here. It's like, well, I've got 6 trucks on the road. I could really use 10. So let me go hire more people, but we just had a dip, and now all of a sudden we're lower than we were last month. And so there's always this kind of balance that you're trying to gain enough work to hire enough people to do the work. But you don't want to hire too many people, so you have to send them home less than 40 hours a week, or lay people off.
Correct.
So that's the balance as a business owner that we found. I'm sure you run the same struggle. But if I was to say anything is, you don't stop keeping the marketing side going. We call it spinning plates here. Like, the old guys have the stick and spin the plate.
Yeah.
And there's always a brand awareness. We stumble sometimes because we're like, well, we got so much work. Now it's difficult to spend a lot of money into marketing. But we always have to have our brand awareness plate spinning. There's always has to be, make sure the trucks look good. Make sure that I still have a presence online, whether it's a nice website or social media stuff.
Yep.
Always have someone posting Instagram things because people look at those things, and just find ways. And maybe you're not doing paid ads. Maybe you're not doing, pay-per-click, or you're doing, Google ads or Facebook ads, but always have a brand awareness.
Yeah. Well, those
marketing.
become your salesperson that's working 24 hours a day, even when you're on a weekend or at night or on holiday. That thing's still working. You made me think of an old saying: the business that doesn't pay for marketing, the business that doesn't market, has a fool for an owner. I mean, just to say I can't afford it or whatever, man, it's the lifeblood of business. Making sure to keep your name out there and keep promoting.
Rarely is there a business that you don't have to do any kind of promotion. Maybe a government contract. Maybe you really do have just one huge client, and the business supports that one client. Typically, small businesses, relationships, it's keeping that top of mind marketing. When someone needs you, you're there. Because frankly, you may have that one other community that's out there saying, well, I'm tired of my guy. I want to hire somebody else. And they're going to go online. They're going to ask around. They're going to try and see who's there. That's why your truck's got to look good. Your employees got to look good.
And the reality is that other community loves their guy. They got a guy. We love our guy. And they will love him right up till the minute they don't.
Yep.
Until they hate him. And that happens.
And that happens quickly.
All the time. I don't like him anymore.
Very quickly in lawn care.
Yeah.
All you have to do is miss one bush.
Yeah.
There you go.
One bush. And it's you're only as good as your last job, right? So making sure you always have that up. That's why it's important to always keep that brand awareness marketing done. And then if you just need more leads, then you go and you pay for the advertising and do some of those things. So to me, if you were to ask me kind of free business advice, it's always keep that brand going. Keep the level of excellence that you already have in your trucks and in your appearance there. Then go meet like-minded business people in all areas. Like we talked about before, networking is so key, where you're just getting involved in the community. And it could be something as simple as, I'm going to sponsor a Little League team in my community. I'm going to host a barbecue, or you're going to get involved in the Chamber of Commerce, or maybe
we even did music theater at a local school.
Music theater, I'm going to put my name on the back of the T-shirts of the baseball club, whatever that is,
for sure.
Right. So you always keep leaning into that, because being a leader or a pillar in your community is important. If you're so busy that you never stick your head up out of working to just, when people see Matt, they don't see Matt, they see TNT, right? You want them to always look at you and go, oh yeah, he's got a quality business. Because one day they're going to need you, and they need to be able to trust you to do that. And so making yourself known, being friendly, you're a nice guy, you're a social guy, you got a great family, you got a good story. There's no reason why people wouldn't love you, To hear that you started off in your backyard, one push mower, lost it all at one point, and rebuilt yourself from the ground up. I mean, that's an inspiring story.
That's a testament, right there.
That's a testament. So there's no reason why I, as a community person, wouldn't want to support somebody like you, right? So let's grow your business, and that's going to be hiring quality people, maintaining quality products, and getting out there in the community and investing in training. There's no way you can't succeed with those things.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. We sponsored Madden's baseball team, and it worked out really well for us. For sure.
Yeah, you're supporting a good cause too.
And it's always great to do something good for the community. Mm-hmm.
And you do those things not because you want to get your return on investment. You're doing those things because it's the right thing to do.
For sure.
You can have multiple, I want to support my son, his team, and if I get some advertisement out of it and some business, even bonus, right? So like we sponsor, some nonprofits. We don't do it because we want to pat ourselves on the back. Matter of fact, we don't even we probably should push more of the marketing of the stuff, the nonprofit stuff we do.
Yeah.
We just don't care about that. We just want to help the nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
But that also builds a credibility in the community. So good. Sweet. All right.
Well, I look forward to having Matt back sometime.
I can't wait to hear the rest of your story.
Because just knowing where he came from to where he is, it's going to be fun to follow, just to see where he winds up next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. That's exciting.
I think so. I mean, this is one. Hopefully, we'll keep tabs on you to kind of see how things play out.
Yeah, we'll probably have to have him back and get an update.
Any other words of wisdom from anyone who might be in their own backyard with their own lawn care, and they're not in your region, obviously, because you're in the Mount Dora area?
Mount Dora, Lake County area.
Lake County area.
Yes, sir.
So if you got somebody who's in the St. Cloud area that's thinking about launching into this world of lawn care and landscaping, any words of wisdom?
I would say never give up and always try your best. And that's pretty much the sum of it.
Yeah.
Do your best and never give up.
Good advice. Mm-hmm. Many a time I've had a kid knock on my door to mow my lawn. And I say, sure, come back next week. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, they don't come back. So
they're looking for a short-term return. So Matt, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, get hold of you, what's a good phone number, website? How would somebody find you?
You could reach me at 352-551-4507, or my email address is tntlawncarepro@gmail.com.
Lawn Care Pro. All right. Very good. Well, Matt, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for telling your story.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, but we enjoyed having you.
Very good. All right. Well, great show, everybody. Thanks a lot for listening. We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hole in the Wall Business Podcast with Bill and James. We'd love for you to join our Facebook group and keep the conversation going. If you'd like to learn more about us and our business, check us out at holeinthewall.com. If you'd like to learn more about how to start a Hole in the Wall franchise, go to holeinthewallfranchising.com.